Today, Phil is going to be a theater critic. None of the way any of these things happen as an accident. All right, so I will bite. Where are they announcing, and what does it mean?
You are a campaign's dream, Brendan, asking this question right now. Look, Hillary Clinton is announcing on Roosevelt Island. That's symbolic for two primary reasons. One, Eleanor Roosevelt has often been pointed to by Hillary Clinton as one of her models, as an idol in some ways. So there's a little bit of a shout out to that, but it's more Franklin Delano Roosevelt. What Hillary Clinton's team is saying they're going to push behind the scenes is a policy agenda that's not New Deal-ish, but in that spirit, bigger, bolder, going a little bit further maybe than President Obama was willing to do in the wake of the 2008 financial crisis. So that's kind of where that is. Another thing, the background of the stage, how it's set up right now, the background will basically overlook a series of, as the campaign calls it, middle-class neighborhoods in New York. I think they like that visual as well. Jeb Bush, you laugh, man, but they have put months. I kid you not.
Make this up. What is a middle?
I kid you not.
Whoa. What is a middle-class neighborhood in Queens or Manhattan? 800,000, one bedroom? I mean, I'm wondering.
Just like every other day Americans, Tom. Everyday Americans in New York, middle class,
here's what
just
she's
like
gonna do. She's going to wave her hand
Iowa.
majestically behind her and say, "These hipsters in Astoria clearly understand the middle-class story that I'm telling you."
To get it back on track, Phil, seriously, Emily Greenhouse with a smart story at Bloomberg Politics this morning on the other women, Republican women. Maybe they go for Jeb Bush. Maybe they go from someone else. How does Secretary Clinton pull the independent women that are not with her yet? How does she pull them over in the next year and a half?
I think when it comes to independent women, where you're going to hear a lot from Hillary Clinton, is an attack not on Republicans in the quote-unquote war on women, the kind of narrative that Democrats have been pursuing the last 2 or 3 cycles, but instead a more positive approach to what Hillary Clinton as a woman in the White House would mean for women, but also would mean policy-wise for women. And I think one of the things that gets confused here when you look at what Hillary Clinton is about to lay out, what we've seen the last couple weeks, yes, she announced her campaign, but it has largely been an on-the-ground, shake the hands, no real national campaign. What changes this weekend is it becomes a national campaign, and the biggest push there is on the policy front, guys. And this is what we've all been kind of clawing our eyes out with every Chipotle story and every what van is she in story over the last couple weeks. Her campaign says over the next couple weeks there'll be a series of concrete policy proposals that you can actually dig into, look at, see where she stands as a candidate. That's when this stuff becomes fun and interesting. That's when a candidate can lay out what they're actually trying to do. That's what her campaign tells me they are going to be doing over the next couple of weeks.
Phil, clawing our eyes out is the exact right way to describe this. Frankly, if she has these proposals, I would love to see them in a simple white paper right now. But let's turn to the Republican side. Here's something that I haven't yet been able to figure out because I've read point and counterpoint on this. Is Jeb Bush inevitable as the nominee?
No, he's not at all. He has structural advantages, primarily on the money side, primarily on the name recognition side. But those advantages, at least on the name recognition side, can also be disadvantages. Guys, every Republican operative you talk to who pays attention to this says without a shadow of a doubt, this is the first time in a long time they've looked at the field and said there's no real clear favorite. Here's one thing I would say about Jeb Bush, guys. There's been a lot of reporting about his campaign in disarray or his struggles.
Right.
It's early. He's got a team. He's launching. It's not nearly as bad as people have made it out to be, but they need to stop the narrative now, and I think that's what you're going to see on Monday when he announces.
Phil Mattingly, thank you so much. On Saturday, on Monday, a new step in the presidential campaign. And of course, look for Mr. Mattingly's work at Bloomberg Politics. We need to go to Josh Wright and answer a killer question here for the secretary, for the governor, and the other 85 Republican candidates running. How do you define middle class? I can't get a straight answer. What is middle class to Josh Wright?
I think the real question here is, what are middle class skills? What are the skills that get you into the middle class and get you to stay there? Because you know, the contract that we had in the 20th century, that's broken down. You can't just graduate from high school and go become a line worker in a factory and then graduate up to management. You've got to develop skills to work with machines that are robots, not just heavy machinery.
But Ohio middle class is different than Florida middle class, right?
Yeah, but I think that, the numbers speak for themselves in terms of what the income levels are. I think the important thing is, when you think of traditionally the middle class, the American dream, you're talking about upward social mobility and the ability of people who don't come from a lot of advantages to rise through the ranks and to find some kind of stability and pass
Josh Wright, he doesn't know it, but he's actually singing the chorus to Allentown by Billy Joel.
Well, that's true.
Everyone had a pretty good shot to get the same deal that his old man got.
If it's Allentown by Billy Joel or it's Nebraska or whatever album it is, the bottom line is what he just said is the theme for both parties moving forward.
Is it, though? Are they going to come out with policies that explain how they're going to help regular people acquire those skills?
We'll have to see.